the water. He dived and he swam for hundreds of years inside the water, and ultimately he reached Vibhavari, the city of Varunadev, the god of the water. He came down and he entered into Vibhavari, and he went to Varunadev and said, "Oh, come on, fight me, get up." He had no respect, but he wanted to fight. That is why he spoke with respect. "My dear Lord, please give me battle. I want to fight you." So Varunadev also wanted to actually blast him, but Varunadev thought I better talk to him in a nice way. So Varunadev said, "Oh dear one, you see I am very old now. I cannot fight. I have given up fighting long time back. Only person who can fight you is Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Please, if you want to fight him, please go and find him." And then when he spoke politely like that, then the next sentence he spoke is that this Vishnu, Krishna, he will get rid of all your ego, and then you will lie down dead on the battlefield surrounded by carnivorous animals. Varunadev gave this challenge to Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyaksha became very angry. He said, "I will find this Vishnu. Where is he?" He came out of the water. He came out of the water and he was searching. Meanwhile, our great Acharya, who is that? He is always present at the right time. Narada Muni. He wanted to fasten the death of Hiranyaksha. So he came to Hiranyaksha. He said, "What do you want, Hiranyaksha? Where is this Vishnu?" So Narada said, "At present, Vishnu is inside the water only. He is bringing out the Bhumi from inside the water and establishing her Bhumi Devi in the right place." So Hiranyaksha said, "How dare he? This Bhumi belongs to the Patal. It belongs to us. How is he carrying?" So with his mace, he went inside the water, and inside the water he saw that the Lord Varaha was taking Bhumi out with his 2 tusks. At that time, seeing the Lord, Hiranyaksha saw he is a boar, amphibious beast. So Hiranyaksha started laughing. How will this animal fight with me? Useless. Who is telling this Vishnu? He said, "Keep down the earth, keep down. This earth belongs to us. Today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. I will smash your skull and break your brain and make you dead on this, so that all the Brahmanas and all the sages, they will stop their sacrifices to you. They will stop worshipping you. I will kill you. Just like the tree is uprooted with the roots, so I will uproot you forever." Actually, the Lord wanted to hear this kind of words because they are part of the fighting. So this was enacted. Of course, when Varaha heard these words, he felt very sad within his heart. Nobody has spoken to him like this previously. But he did not want to start fighting right now, because Bhumi Devi, she was on the top of the tusk. She got very frightened by seeing Hiranyaksha. So first of all, the Lord wanted to establish Bhumi Devi on the top of the water. So he took Bhumi and put her on the top of the water, and he gave the Shakti to the earth, Bhumi, to float on the water. See, the Lord is the greatest yogi. He can make the earth float on the water. And then he turned his attention to Hiranyaksha. And the Lord wanted to make Hiranyaksha very angry so that he will fight nicely. So the Lord will enjoy the fighting. Otherwise, it will not be any fun. So the Lord also spoke these words. He said, "You want to know who am I? I am the creature of the jungle." The Lord said, "And we are constantly hunting for dogs like you." To make him angry, the Lord told Hiranyaksha, "Now, give up your foolish talk and start your attack. Because those who simply talk and don't do anything are only murkhas, fools. So start your attack, fight." So Hiranyaksha, when he heard, his body started trembling with anger, his eyes became red hot, and became agitated, and he sprang with his club, and he was hitting the Lord with full force. And when he was hitting the Lord with full force, the Lord just stepped aside. Hiranyaksha fell, and then the Lord took his club and he wanted to hit Hiranyaksha. But Hiranyaksha, being very expert fighter, he blocked the blow of the Lord with his mace very powerfully, and there was such a sound, the whole universe became afraid. This fighting, all the demigods, Brahma, and they started gathered on the top of to witness this great battle between the Lord and Hiranyaksha. And as both combatants, they struck each other very strongly, the blood started flowing out from both of their bodies, and more and more angry both of them became, and both were eager for victory, but nobody was winning. Both of them were matching their strokes one by one. It looks like two bulls were fighting for a cow. Cow was Prithvi, Bhumi, and two big bulls were fighting. So Brahma was witnessing this terrible fight, and it was going on. And then Brahma became very distressed. Brahma said, "My dear Lord," he looked at the Lord, "though you are all powerful, the evening time is fast approaching, and after sunset the Rakshasas get all magic powers, and they will create a lot of more problems. So my dear Lord, please kill him very quickly before evening comes. Otherwise he will become a very formidable enemy. The Abhijit Nakshatra already has started in noon and it is ending in the evening. So you please kill him in the Abhijit Nakshatra. Otherwise he will become very difficult for getting killed." So in that way, the Lord looked at Brahma and gave us such a smile. Brahma was very happy seeing the Lord. So at that time the fighting was going on, but the Lord wanted to enjoy more fighting. So, but hearing Brahma, he took his club, and the Lord went very fast to hit the chin of Hiranyaksha. He went so fast with all his energy that when he went like that, Hiranyaksha blocked the blow with his mace of the Lord, and his mace so powerfully blocked that the Lord's gada fell from his hand on the ground. It all, it fell from the ground and it was moving on the ground. And big sounds were created. Everybody was afraid. And all the devatas, when they saw that the Lord has no weapon now in his hand and he can be killed any time, the devatas saying, "Hi, hi, 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 our savior is gone, our savior is gone." The demigods also, sometimes they get doubts that the Lord can protect them. But seeing the Lord unarmed, Hiranyaksha wanted to follow the codes of the battle. So he said, no, Lord, come on, pick it up. Pick up the gada. So the Lord became so embarrassed. "You are telling me to pick up?" So then the Lord said, invoked a Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra came. And seeing the Sudarshan Chakra, Hiranyaksha became very, very angry. Then when the Devatas saw the Sudarshan Chakra, they said, "May all victory be to the Lord, may all victory be to the Lord." And then, but Hiranyaksha became very, very angry, and he took his blow, and like a serpent he was hissing, he was biting his lip, and he climbed in the sky, flew high, and he came down with the mace, and he said, "You are dead now, you are dead." And he gave the final blow to the Lord. But the Lord, when he came with his mace, the Lord just took his mace from his hand like an elephant plucks the lotus flower, and he threw away his mace. And then Hiranyaksha became even more angry. The Lord said, "You pick up your weapon now, come on." Hiranyaksha was very ashamed to pick up his weapon again. So he took up a flaming Trishul, trident, and he aimed at the Lord, and the Lord immediately releases Sudarshan Chakra and cut it into small pieces. Then ultimately this Hiranyaksha said, I will kill you with my own hands. So he took his own fist and went to the Lord to attack him and to smash him. And when he came to the Lord to smash him, the Lord was not hurt at all. He smashed with all his force, but the Lord felt as if untouched. And when the Lord wanted to beat him in return, he disappeared. He disappeared. And then suddenly, when the Lord was thinking what to do next, suddenly fierce wind started blowing from the sky, and by his magical powers, torrents of stones started falling from the sky on the Lord. And there was a shower of pus, hair and blood and stool and urine, and so many things were falling on the Lord. Bones and lightning and thunder and mountains, weapons were coming out from the mountains, attacking the Lord. And the host of Yakshas and Rakshasas were uttering cruel and savage words, and they were attacking the Lord. And they were on horses and elephants and chariots. And some naked Rakshasas came with very horrible faces. They stand before the Lord to attack him. So everybody was saying what the Lord will do. The Lord released his Sudarshan Chakra. And all the magical powers were gone in a moment. Everything disappeared, because in the power of the chakra, no black magic can remain. And then, seeing that there is no other way now, Hiranyaksha again came with his hands to beat the Lord. And at that time, a big fear passed through the heart of Diti. Diti came to know, my son is going to die now. Fear. She felt a lot of fear. And blood started flowing from her breasts. And at that time, he tried to crush the Lord with his hands, and ultimately the Lord lifted one of his foot, and he slapped Hiranyaksha like this, below his left ear. Just slapping, just touch. And Hiranyaksha fell down dead. His brain was cracking. His eyes came out of his sockets. And he was totally dead on the battlefield. And all the Devatas started saying, Varaha Bhagavan ki, Varaha Deva ki. Like that, all the Devatas started glorifying the Lord. And Brahma was very happy. And in that way, Varaha Dev released the earth from the fear of Hiranyaksha. And everybody was very happy. So this story was narrated by Maitreya to Vidura about how Hiranyaksha was killed, and Vidura was hearing with rapt attention. In that way, Vidura again wanted to hear about creation. So Maitreya described creation in further detail. This is also a lot of technical details here, that how first the Lord created Mahavishnu, and from the force of time came Mahatattva, and from Mahatattva came 3 types of false ego or ahankar, and from ego came the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air and ether, and from there the 5 subtle elements of Tanamatra came, sound, touch, form, taste and smell, and the 5 knowledge acquiring senses came, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue and the skin. And the 5 working senses, the karmendriyas, they came, the speech, the hands, the feet, the anus and the genitals. So in that way, all these things were created by Brahma, and in that way, he created further 5 categories of ignorance, and further Rakshasas, they came out from Brahma's Yakshas and Rakshasas. They Brahma, when he cast off his body, they came out from the darkness and they started attacking him. Yakshas are the ones who attacked Brahma, who said that Brahma should be eaten, and Rakshasas are those who said Brahma should not be protected. So this is the difference between Yakshas and Rakshasas. They came out of Brahma's body, and then the demons, they came out from Brahma's back, and they started attacking Brahma, and Brahma immediately approached the Lord, and the Lord immediately cast off his body, and his body became twilight, and that twilight became a beautiful woman, and the Rakshasas were attracted to that woman, and they were bewildered. And then Brahma evolved Gandharvas and Apsaras from his personal loveliness, from his shining, which became moonlight, and the Gandharvas took control of that moonlight. In that way, there are many creations. The Brahma created Sadhyas and the Pitrus, then he created the ghosts from his laziness. From his laziness came out the ghosts. And then he created from his reflection, he saw his own reflection in the water. He created the Kim Purushas and the Kinnaras, who are very beautiful. And then Brahma became anxious that I am not creating fast, I need to create more fast. In his anxiety, he wanted to give up his body. He gave up his body. When he gave up his body, from his hair came out snakes. Snakes were produced from his hair for the first time. And from that the Naga Loka came. And in that way, Brahma produced so many different things described by Maitreya. We don't have time for that. You have to come from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening. The real Bhagavad Saptaha is done whole day. For 7 days. Then only all the Katha can be explained. So now we come to the... Vidura was very inquisitive. He said, okay, Swayambhu Manu, how did he increase the progeny of Brahma? Please tell me what happened. So Maitreya came to the story of the great sage Kashyapa Muni. Kardama Muni. The great sage. He was the son of Brahma, one of the 10 sons of Brahma. And Kardama Muni, he meditated on the Lord on the banks of river Saraswati. It is encircled, and inside the river Saraswati is Bindu Sarovar. Bindu Sarovar is still there. So Bindu Sarovar is encircled by the river Saraswati. There Kardama Muni performed Divya Tapasya on the Lord for 10,000 celestial years. Can you imagine how much time it is? Into 365. So, thousands of years he meditated on the Lord, and the Lord became very pleased on him, and seated on Garuda, the Lord came with his beautiful form. Actually, he was standing on Garuda this time, and with a garland of beautiful white lotus flowers on his neck, and tresses of hair covering his beautiful face, and he was smiling. In fact, seeing Kardama's austerities, the Lord started crying, because the Lord is very affectionate to his devotees. So seeing Kardama's bhakti, and the tears, they fell down into the lake, and that became Bindu Sarovar. You know, the Bindu Sarovar is mixed with the Lord tears. So very pious. Kardama Muni was seeing the Lord. He was very happy. He said that, my dear Lord, I have achieved the goal of my human life. Anybody who sees you face to face cannot ask for anything else. I want you. Means I have been... all my mundane nations is over now. Ignorance. Because I have attained you. But my dear Lord, I have one desire for which I have prayed to you. What was that desire? Kardam wanted a nice wife. Nowadays we want a wife, we search in the newspapers. Matrimonial websites. We do so many. But in the Vedic times, if you want a wife also, you approach God. Because the Lord is the best person to decide. So Kardama Muni said, I want such a nice wife that she will help me in my spiritual practice. She will be a nice disposition, and she will prove a veritable, like a cow, plenty in my household life. She will always be humble and help me in my spiritual advancement. So when Kardama spoke to the Lord like that, the Lord smiled. He said, Kardama, you don't have to ask me. I already know what is your desire. I have already arranged for you. Kardama said, what? He said that you worship me for so many thousands of years, so I know your desire. Day after tomorrow, let one day pass, but day after tomorrow, the king of the whole universe, Swayambhu Manu, who stays in the capital known as Brahmavarta, his capital, his other name is Barismati also. So he is ruling the whole universe from there. He will come to you with his daughter, most beautiful daughter known as Devahuti. He will come to you, and she is a very beautiful daughter with all good qualities. She is very suitable, of very suitable age, and he will offer you his daughter in marriage. So, and she will become your great companion, and she will help you, and from you, you will beget 9 daughters, whom you will give it to the sages, and they will increase the progeny and creation. And ultimately, my dear Kardama, I am so much pleased by your austerities that I give you this benediction, that in my partial form, my partial avatar, expansion, I will again come as your son. And my name will be what? Kapila. I will become your son. But Kardama said, my dear father, my dear Lord, I will have one request, that when I will get my son, I will leave home. Kapila married Devahuti on that condition, that when I get a son, I will leave home. He took a promise from Swayambhu Manu. So Kardama, the Lord left. Then Kardama waited. A day passed. Next day, Swayambhu Manu came with his daughter. He travelled all over the earth to find a suitable husband, but nobody was as suitable as Kardama. Already Narad Muni had told how beautiful Kardama is, how pure he is, how advanced he is to Devahuti, and Devahuti already put her heart to Kardama, and she was not attracted to any other person. So actually Devahuti was so beautiful that once Devahuti was playing ball with a ball on the terrace of Swayambhu Manu's palace. She was playing. And when she was playing, what is his name? That Gandharva, his name was Vishwasu. He came with the aeroplane in the sky, and he saw Devahuti playing with the ball, and so beautiful Devahuti was that he crashed in from his plane. Seeing the beauty of Devahuti, he directly collapsed under a tree. So Kardama Muni said, I have heard the beauty of Devahuti, so no problem, I will accept her as my wife. So in that way, Kardama glorified Swayambhu Manu. We don't have time for all the pastimes. But then Kardama Muni, Swayambhu Manu said, see my dear Kardama, one should not refuse what is coming to us on its own. Because now if you refuse, then again when you want, then you will have to go and beg, which is not good. So Devahuti is coming on its own to you, so please accept her. So Kardama said, no problem. And Kardama was always meditating on the Lord. So when he smiled, Devahuti was so attracted to Kardama that she already decided. So Swayambhu Manu gave Devahuti to Kardama Muni, and he left back to his kingdom. And in Barhismati he was welcomed back with all his citizens. And Kardama Muni, he immediately accepted Devahuti. And Devahuti, even though she was the princess of the whole universe, but she lived a very, very simple life with Kardama. She became free of all lust, pride, envy, greed and vanity, and she gave great respect to Kardama. She controlled her senses. She worshipped her husband like God, always desiring some spiritual instruction from her husband. And she grew very weak because of eating only fruits and flowers, and nothing was available. And immediately after Kardama accepted Devahuti, he went into meditation for another 1,000 years. So Devahuti was serving Kardama very humbly, and she became so weak, and her clothes, and then ultimately when Kardama got out of meditation, Devahuti said, my dear husband, Kardama said, I am very pleased. His voice choked up with love for his wife. He said, my dear Devahuti, you have pleased me by your service. I am astonished to see how you have neglected your body for my sake. Your body was so beautiful earlier, and but you see, by meditation on Krishna, I have become free from all fear and lamentation, and you will also get the same fruit because you have served me nicely. I bless you that you will also see Krishna in your heart. Saying like that, Devuti became very satisfied and they started smiling. But Devuti said, you see my dear husband, you are the master of all mystic powers and you are a great yogi. And every woman has a desire for children. So please, my dear husband, please help me to, please let us fulfill my desire so that we get progeny in this world. So Kardama, knowing the desire of the Devuti, immediately Kardama manifested a beautiful palace in the sky. The beautiful palace in the sky, which was made up of precious stones and pillars and decorated with flags and artwork. It was looking so charming. That was it used to fly in the sky. Special palace. It can fly anywhere. And it was multi-storied. Many stories were there in that palace, and full of emeralds and gems and furniture, already well equipped. Everything was there. In fact, 1,000 maid servants also were there in that palace, ready to serve Devuti. So by the yogic powers, Kardama Muni manifested, but Devuti looked at herself and said, I am not dressed also. I mean, what is the use of the palace for me? So immediately Kardama Muni told Devuti, you enter into Bindu Sarovar. And actually Devuti's body was covered by a thick layer of dirt, and she was dressed in the jungle dress. So immediately Devuti entered into the lake Bindu Sarovar, and inside Bindu Sarovar thousands of dasis were waiting for her inside the water. And they beautifully escorted her, they decorated her body and they dressed her and very pleasing manner, and then they brought her in front of her husband, and then both husband and wife mounted the beautiful palace, the flying palace. They entered into that along with all the maid servants, the Vidyadhari girls. 1,000 Vidyadhari girls were there to serve in the palace. So and they were flying around. They went to Mount Meru, they went to Nandan Kanan, they went to all the heavenly places, all the Vidyadhara mountains. These are, when human beings want to enjoy, they go to hill station, Uti. Which are hill stations here? Kodai Canal and all those hill stations. But demigods, they don't come here. These hill stations are ugly for them. For Devatas, the hill stations are all beautiful, Swargas. It's near Mount Sumeru, so beautiful, milk ocean. All the nectar, fruits. By going into those forests, one becomes young. One doesn't feel thirsty or hungry. That is the real hill stations of the Swarga Loka. So, Kardama Muni took his wife everywhere to all the hill stations and enjoyed very nicely. And then for 100 years they enjoyed husband and wife in the palace. Then ultimately Kardama Muni as a yogi expanded himself in 9 forms. And all the 9 forms he impregnated Devuti. So Devuti got 9 daughters simultaneously. So then the 9 daughters were born, and then ultimately they were married and to all the sages, and they were taken away. And then Devuti approached that, now I am alone again, my dear Lord. Please, I want to beget another son. So that, who will, when you are gone, who will help me? So in that way, Kardama Muni replied, don't be disappointed. Now you worship the Supreme Lord with your full concentration of your senses, and He will appear as your son. So finally, after many years, Devuti, she chanted the name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nityananda. So he was she after performing lot of worship to the Lord, ultimately Kardama